Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. Taylor with Studio Ace and I'm going to be your art teacher today. We're going to be thinking about summertime art and making an artistic glass of lemonade. So are you ready? Let's get started. Now, before you start any art project, you always want to make sure you have all of your supplies on hand. To make the glass of lemonade today, the materials you're going to be needing are a half sheet of colored paper. Any color will do. White is fine too. Your kit probably has purple, but if it comes with another color or you want to use another color, that's great. Some white paper, and then of course you'll need yellow for the lemon part. You will need glue, scissors, a pencil, maybe a silly straw, a ruler, and then of course your instructions that came with your kit. So the first material that we're going to be using is the colored paper that's going to be for the cup, for the glass part of the lemonade. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of put everything off to the side. And you can use a pencil or a marker, whatever you have on hand, and a ruler. Now, if you cannot find a ruler at home, that's okay. Anything that you can use to create a straight edge. So I do have a ruler today, but if you can't find one, the side of a book or a notebook or something from school works just as well because you can use the edge of the book. So I'm going to use my ruler, and my instructions say take a half sheet of paper, that's this one, and draw 2 diagonal lines. And what does a diagonal line look like, right? A diagonal line is a little bit skewed to the side. It's a little bit angled. So think about when you're drinking a glass of water or a glass of milk. So this is a straight line, and if we start at the top corners of our paper, positioned long ways, right, vertically, and we look at the bottom of our paper, we can use a ruler to measure about 1 inch in, or we can just eyeball it and think about a little bit of a space from the inside corner on the bottom, and you can make a little bit of mark. Doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, you can measure it if you wish. Start at that top corner, connect it to that mark that you made on the bottom, as wide as you like on the bottom. Some cups are straight up and down, so if you just want to make it a little bit more of a narrow cup, not so much of an angled cup, that's fine too. Start at the top corner, line it up with the mark that you made at the bottom. Ooh, there you are. And then you have an angled cup shape. You may not be able to see it on the camera because the pencil line is almost the same color as the purple paper, but I promise you that it's there, right? So now we have the shape of our cup, and which we're going to be cutting out in a minute. So I'll just put that off to the side. I'm going to take my yellow paper and I'm going to draw some shapes of lemons, right? This is lemonade after all. And you have all this paper to work with. So if you want to make 15 lemons, that's totally fine. It's up to you, however many you would like. So how to make a lemon shape? You want to start off by making a circle, small circle. Doesn't have to be perfect because lemons come from nature, so they are not perfect circles. And then to make the inside of the lemon, it's like little tiny rounded triangles. So this is a whole lemon, right? So if I cut it in half, right kind of through the middle, I can draw a light line that maybe I can erase later. And then I go just to the edge, but not all the way to the line I already created, and make a triangle that's rounded on all ends. Then I can use that as my guide for all of the next ones. And like I said, lemons come from nature. Are these triangles going to be perfect? No. They're going to be a little bit wobbly, a little bit wonky. If you find one's too big than the other, it's not going to make a huge difference. It's still going to look like a lemon because it's just little rounded triangle shapes. Some people also like to put little kind of ovals inside here or there for the seeds of the lemon. And then now I don't need this little guideline. I can erase that. So that is a whole lemon. And then I'd also like to make some half lemons. So I'm going to do the same thing, but instead of making a whole circle, I'm going to do a half circle. And then I'm going to kind of find the middle point. I can make a little bit of a dot, or I can just eyeball it, and I'm going to follow the side of the line of my half circle, follow the rind around, and make a nice, cute little rounded triangle shape, and then just fill it in from there. Like I said, if some are bigger than others or if they're a little wonky, little wobbly, it's no big deal because these are from nature. Looks like a lemon, don't you think? And then same thing, if you want to add some seeds, you can do little ovals. You can put them in different spots because there's always lots of seeds on lemons. I always like to start with pencil. That way, if I make a mistake or I draw a shape that maybe I don't like that much, I have an opportunity to erase it. But I always like to go back over maybe with a marker or a colored pencil. Since these are lemons, orange or yellow would work really well. If you drew too dark, you can always use a marker and then just do a little shading or a little color around the lemons. You can also draw your lemons with the orange or the yellow. See if it'll show up. Yeah, it's really hard to see on the camera, but maybe if I did it with the orange, I could do a half and then find the center, draw little rounded triangles, and then I have my lemons. So once you have as many as you want drawn out on your yellow paper, just go ahead and put those off to the side along with your glass. And then we're going to take our white paper, and you might have a half sheet or you might have a little bit smaller. I'm not even going to actually draw anything on this paper today. I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to try to follow this straight line on one side to make some ice cubes. So some ice cubes are just little squares, or you could make rounded ice cubes if you wanted to round off the squares. That's an option as well. And I don't even feel like I need to draw a line because I can just cut a little rectangle out. I'm just going to cut following the same line on the edge of my paper. Just saves a little bit of time so I don't have to draw it out. And then once you have a nice wide strip, it's like a really nice long elongated rectangle, then I can just cut my ice cubes right from there. And now I have several ice cubes. I'm going to go ahead and put those off to the side as well. I'm going to cut out my glass. I'm going to follow that diagonal line I just drew with my pencil. That's hard to see. And I have a nice giant glass of lemonade. And the last step is just to glue everything to my glass. So here's my cup. I have all of my ice cubes that you probably won't be able to see. I'm gonna put them on my other glass that I made. Here are my ice cubes. And I have all my lemons here. And if you take one of your lemons and you cut a little opening from the outside just to the center, then you can take this one and put it right at the top like it was on the rim of the cup, like that. And then I'm going to take my glue stick, just flew the cap, and I'm going to glue down my silly straw. Wherever you want to put it, it doesn't matter. Put a little bit of glue on the end, or on one side, I should say. You could even kind of flatten it down a little bit if you think that'll help it stick. Sometimes it does. Kind of give it a little bit of pressure, and then start gluing down your lemons. How many lemons did you make? Maybe that whole glass is full of lemons. Maybe you just went crazy because you just love lemons so much. Lemonade is so delicious in the summertime. You can position them however you want because they're kind of floating in your cup of lemonade. And then glue down your ice cubes. So here are my little squares. It's making me thirsty already. And just like that, you have an artsy creation of lemonade. All right, that was fun. I hope you like this project. I can't wait to see how yours comes out. There it is. And thank you for making art with me.